Hey, what is up? We are back. We are live. We decided to do a some more drafts in the morning. If we're going to be drafting, we might as well be live. That is not that music I listen to. I'm trying to wake up. What's up, Tony? King Shooter, how we doing? I'm assuming a couple more will be jumping in here shortly. We were just discussing in the Discord. All right, we're gonna do some Wildcats. We're gonna basically do Wildcats until it fills. Uh, News that just came out earlier today is that Nico Collins is out on drafters. Like whatever more people get here, we will kind of discuss it. Um, but I think we do like I'm debating on if I want to just start drafting Higgins here or if I want to swap all of my Nico to Higgins. Um, I I think the smartest play is to slide their offense towards Dalton Schultz, though. I do like I think on underdog specifically, or like on drafters, there's only 5, and there's more tight ends on the slate as well. But I do think the Dalton Schultz becomes a very, very good click. Um, I think that he's easily the number 4 or 5 tight end. So I'm gonna absolutely and Woody Marks is somebody I was already really high on for the week. So I think that trio is all draftable, and I think they're draftable in all formats. On drafters, if you want like a deep dive, um, currently Stroud is playing. Um, so like Houston, Stroud playing, but you come down here, Nico is out. I think that, like, for whatever reason, they just continually use Xavier Hutchinson, and their offense continually doesn't work because they're using Xavier Hutchinson. So I'm in the camp that they should probably that. That's not going to work because it hasn't worked except for 1 week the entire season. So we're gonna actually pull up Amon Ra here. The Nico being out to me also increases the value of all the other wide receivers, like significantly. I think that the 5 up top have even more value. I think that Jamison Williams has more value. I'm probably going to end up swapping a whole bunch into Cortland Sutton. I'm probably just going to be extremely overweight on Cortland Sutton, and I think I might do Sutton 1, Jefferson 2, and then Higgins 3 for my swaps. But I'm going to actively be drafting Dalton Schultz the rest of the day, I think. That is one reason I want to jump on here and do some drafts this morning. I have recency bias from Hutchinson being a bottom 4 wide receiver league last year. Yeah. I mean, he was pretty bad last year. He had the 1 or 2 games early in the year where like he had that 2 touchdown game very early in the year, but here I need to turn my music up at least. There we go. But we had recently over like the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I've mostly been noticing that because of because of Jaden Higgins. But pretty much every time they put Hutchinson on the field, their drive just stalls out unless they get given a free first down. Is there news on him? I need to I'm taking him. It doesn't matter. But was there news on James Cook? I do need to find that out. JCM is a person that I haven't taken yet. I was curious on it because Rodriguez is active today. I think he's a fine click. I haven't made it yet, but he is one of the guys who I do want to make sure to click once or twice. And I've been actively avoiding Ashton Genty as well, but it came out that they want to try to get him the 1,000 yards. So I need to start actively drafting him as well. This was a draft I was going to target Genty, which is one reason I pulled those two up. It doesn't, obviously that's not going to work out. But we also got the major fall there on James Cook. So Roto Wire inactives. We will keep that up and we'll look at that every once in a while. And then we will also do the X thing, keep it up in another tab. He needed like 93 or 100. He needed around 100, right? So if they want to, they said that if it feels close, they're going to try for it. Basically, like they're not going to actively lose the game to get it, but you know. But there was talk earlier in the week that they wanted to. That the Bills wanted to try to get the rushing title for James Cook because it's a team award. Oh yeah, and Colston Loveland is I think my number 1 drafted player, or he was. He's my number 2 now. It's James Cook. I really like James Cook and I really like Colston Loveland this week. We'll see what happens. I think Ben Johnson's going to cook today. Caleb Williams has been playing pretty good in the cold. These are my rankings that I autoed on. I did maneuver some stuff around for the auto ranks. What I do want to go to some Woody Marks here. I'm pretty out on Jonathan Taylor for the week. I might need to be more in, though, with the new news as well. We're going to go ahead and take Woody here, and then we're going to take Caleb Williams, assuming that doesn't happen. So we're just going to go with Jared Goff, I believe. Yeah, we'll do Jared Goff. All right, well, by the way, I didn't shout out Lutz, who's in the 103. I did see that. I was just busy discussing things. Lutz has Trey McBride, Drake May, Travion, Higgins, Parker Washington, and Tyrone Tracy. Jefferson and Sutton are getting pulled up the board now as well. I've been noticing that. I've been higher on them all week. I do like it. I like them quite a bit. But I will have no problem swapping a bunch of teams to Sutton and Jefferson for sure. And my team, we got Jared Goff, running backs, James Cook, Woody Marks, and then Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra, and Loveland. All right. Back to the drafts. We're going to just fire Wildcats until it opens, I think. And we're just going to do one at a time. Jerry Jeudy kind of feels like a play this week. But the Bengals defense has actually been reasonable over the last few weeks, right? They people. Let me bring it up. Bengals schedule. So the last several weeks, the Bengals they held the Ravens the Bills smashed them, right? But they held the Ravens to 14-24. I know Lamar wasn't right. They kind of held the Dolphins down a little bit. They held the Cardinals down. Patriots scored 26, which I thought they were going to score a lot more. The Bills do that just randomly. Then where else are we? Oh, so Cardinals 14, Dolphins 21, Ravens 24, Bills smash, held the Ravens way down. Patriots a little bit like around the Patriots game, their defense, like I'm not going to say it's good, but it's been better. And the part of their defense that is the best is their wide receiver, like how good they are against wide receivers. With that being said, Jerry Jeudy he's a player I don't mind it as they did what Carolina done for the year, right? Like Carolina started the year, I thought they were going to be the worst defense in the league or second worst. And they're like 20th best, right? But the one thing they actually do effectively is guard wide receivers, the Bengals. So that's why I'm not huge on Jeudy, but I understand the play. I haven't made the click myself. I do think that Jeudy could be one of those, like, if you like the pick'ems, maybe scale him up kind of plays. We're going to try to get a little bit more CD Lamb. I don't have very much, but we're going to actively look for some Lamb. But yeah, what Pepper Tony said is that is exactly right. Ravens would have 40 if they ran the ball. I mean, that is true every week, right? Like, it doesn't matter if Lamar's healthy or not. If they just run the ball. And yeah, Ramondre is another pick that I think is fine. Like, I'm trying to find news on James Cook. Not seeing anything. He has a 47-yard lead on Jonathan Taylor. So yeah, I do think that they at least try to get him to around 100. And Ramondre does feel like a fun pick this week. I haven't done it. I'm not taking really either one of the Patriots running backs. But I do, like, I get a feeling, though, that if they save a running back, they're going to save Ramondre, not Dravion. I feel like it has to do with this season, and it'll probably be a week where he's fantasy football irrelevant. It could be. Yeah. Yeah, like Jonathan Taylor needs like 150 basically. We will take Kyron here, get the little pairing there. I was hoping to get Dak. I've been trying to get a Dak pairing, but I believe people are in here autoing, which whatever. There's nothing wrong with autoing. But what do I want here? I think I want I'm not getting to a lot of Jacoby either. He's a player I like. I've been not taking very much Luther Burden. I've been taking a lot more DJ Moore because DJ Moore's ADP is 35.6 and Luther Burden's at 30.8. Like, I am absolutely like, I view them as the same play. If I'm going to get one of them at basically 10% owned and the other one at 55% owned or whatever, I'm going to take the lower owned guy there. We're going to, we might just go ahead and take the Jacoby here. I haven't done it a lot, so we're going to do it there. If anybody made it in, I forgot to give the countdown as well. I will do that on the next one, assuming anybody wants this smoke. Yeah, I can see them both having a game. I'm not zero burden either. I just prefer the DJ Moore play because of ownership. I think it's probably like a 52-48. Like that Burden has the better game, but if you give me the massive ownership difference, I'm going to take the ownership difference in that situation. Pretty much every time. So I haven't been scrolling a lot at quarterback. I tend to just take a lot of Jackson Dart, and I don't know how I feel about it. Like I definitely don't feel great about it. If Genty comes back, we're going to take Genty on this team. Which honestly is probably the wrong move. I should probably take we'll do Genty on a team where I don't have a couple players that I don't have much of either one of these two players. So because I don't have much of either one of those. Yeah, and I really like the Bears passing game this week. We're going to Tracy went we're going to just take a Jordan Mason share here. I have a couple. And then at quarterback, we'll just go ahead and take the naked Dart. And I'm joining another lobby, and I'm joining in 10 seconds, by the way, on another screen. What's up, Hulk? And we're doing Wildcats for those who are just showing up. All right. Location error. So I will not be joining in 10 seconds. It'll be just a second. Location error gets... Need to lower that down. Sorry for how loud that was. Any Miami plays? Yes, and you're going to hate it. All right, I will join in another 10 seconds. My Miami play is a very, very low-owned play and a play that I don't want to do very much. It's a Greg Dulcich bring back. And we're waiting on two. So this team is Jackson Dart to the bring back of CeeDee Lamb, Kyren Williams, Jordan Mason, Jacoby Myers, and Trey McBride. It's a solid built team. We are starting shortly. We got the 103. We don't have... I'm not getting put in the corner today, so that feels good. I've also, last night I spent half the night at the 101, and I have a ton of Bijan right now, so I do need to actually diversify a little bit, and I don't have very much Gibbs anymore, so I need to start doing that. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that too. If you look at the parlay I put in my I Hate Money section, it's a $3 bet that pays $16,000. It's 8 touchdown legs, a lot of reasonable legs, and then it's got Greg Dulcich in there as well. And if you're just popping in, if you can smash the like, that would be fantastic. Yeah, I'm very happy to have 23-24% Bijan, but I don't want to be underweight. I'm down to 9% Gibbs. Because I also moved Puka all the way up to 102. As I said yesterday, I was going to wait. Whenever Puka ends up, if Seattle wins, I'm going to move Puka up. I was thinking that the Niners would play a lot better football than they did last night. They didn't look like a playoff team. A team that hadn't been stopped pretty much for an entire month on offense. Couldn't do anything on offense or defense. They were so much worse against the run than I expected them to be. I knew they weren't going to be elite at run stopping, but Seattle could just do whatever they wanted, right? They had a big play here and there on defense on first downs that put Seattle behind the sticks, But most of it was Seattle just making mistakes on offense and keeping themselves away from blowing them completely out of the game. And Shanahan, like, they just couldn't get open. They needed Ricky Pearsall. They needed a guy to actually be able to stretch the defense a little bit. They did not have. If Ricky is out of the game, they don't have that. And a lot of the rest of their, like, Kittle can, but you kind of need another, like, an actual speed receiver alongside of Kittle. I know he's done it in the past without the speed receiver, but, like, this year at least, like, because that's what Brandon Ayuk, gave the team, right? Was the down the field presence stuff. Yeah, we'll take ETN with Gibbs here. ETN is a play that I feel very safe with this week. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like they're going to keep their starters in the whole game. I'm a little more worried now that Nico's sitting. I do think that maybe they end up resting people in the second half if they're up. But I don't know. So this is like the situation I don't love. Because we're going to come back here. And when Nico was on the board, you could generally get one of the wide receivers back. It's a lot less likely. Like, it looks like I might here. Unless this guy wants to go 3 wide receiver, which I think stopping at Pickham's makes sense. To play the Bucks or Panthers, depending on what happens in the Atlanta game. So, and by the way, we have a Caleb Williams in the second round here at by Can Needs something dude. Can Needs dude, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, like, that's why I was out on the Rams until the game last night, because if the Niners won, Seattle was locked into the 5 seed, and the Niners or the Rams didn't have anything to play for. They had said that they wanted to go out there because they looked not 100%. Like, they didn't look good the last week. They weren't sharp against Atlanta. So McVay wanted to make sure they got sharp, but that could have meant a couple drives. I think that with something to play for on top of it, that they're going to keep the offense out there for at least most of the game this week. All right, so we're going to hopefully bring Dak back around, but we're not going to get him because Titan fan 100 will most likely take Dak. But if we pull Drake May all the way back around, I'm actually pretty happy about that too. This is lining up to be a Dalton Schultz team. I've taken Ferg a single time. All right. So we end up getting Dak back. Drake May would have been the most unique piece there. I just have so little Dak right now that I want to make sure to get some paired. I have a bit of Dak in the... I did autos. I autoed 15 of the cash games, and I ended with like 35% Nico, so we're gonna not do much more of those. I think we ended around there. We ended up with a little bit. So we do really like JMO this week as well. But I'm running into that situation to where I have so much of that player that I don't know, and I have Gibbs on this team. This is going to be a team where I'm gonna reach down for DJ Moore here. We're not gonna do any bring back on the Dak side. We're gonna build out a little bit of a game stack there. And then we're going to take some Dalton Schultz at the end, assuming that he is still available. But yeah, Greg Dulcich is like, I like him only in a Drake May team, right? I don't think Josh Allen plays the whole game. But even if he does play the whole game, if they're actively trying to make sure they get the rushing title as a team, I don't see him needing to do a lot. And they can't really like they're the 6 or 7 seed no matter what, right? So they can't really move to play the Ravens or Steelers, which would be the only spot they would want to move to. I do think that they would probably rather play, like, I think they'd rather play the Patriots in round 1 opposed to I think the Texans have pretty much given up getting the 3 seed. And I think that the Bills will want to win to play the Jags. Like, I don't think they're going to make it a big deal on which one between the Jags and the Patriots they play. But if something wild happens and Houston ends up getting and Tennessee beats Jacksonville, and Houston wins, they get the 3 seed. And I don't think at all the Bills want to play the Texans. It's not been good recently. So we got Dak Prescott to Pickens. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, ETN. We have the bring back off of Gibbs to DJ Moore. And then we have Dalton Schultz. And we are going back, and we're going to do another Wildcat. We're going to join in 10 seconds. Hopefully the location stuff works just fine. I might end up doing a fullback dive here in a minute as well. If it's pretty, if we look at these lobbies here, waiting on 4. The fullback dive is only 50%. Or it's 43%. It only needs a few entrants though. But I've already done 3 of them. But I know I want to do the Wildcats. The double up looks like it's going to fill. This early slate only, I might tackle a little bit near the end. I want to make sure to get up to 50 of these entries. I think I need 5 more before. I think this one and 5 after that is 50 of them. And then after that, we'll just kind of draft whatever. Probably switch to the onside kick for a little bit. Just have a little bit of a different sweat as well. Look at a different play pool. We got the 105. And I believe that is it. I believe I'm the only one here. Yeah, I'm definitely in on Jaden Higgins as a scroll though. He's a player I might target him in this draft. We'll see what I get. And by the way, my ranks were set up specifically for auto. So that's not how I feel for an auto for a cash game. And there are players that I do like a lot more for the cash game than I do for the floor plays. I don't mind Pickens as much there. And I love Michael Wilson in the cash game as well. So I'm going to just let's just skip this whole tier. I have a lot of Amon-Ra and ETN. like a lot of them. I don't think we're going to see very much Chase Brown with Trey McBride. So we're going to pull Chase Brown up to that and then ignore, like, we're going to act in this draft as this is the dead zone. Like the Amon-Ra, ETN, Pickens, where Nico was going, is the dead zone. Usually a couple of the mid-second, early third-round wide receivers at 100% drafted, at least one of them completely fails. So we're going to take that approach here. We're also going to avoid the Michael Wilson because I don't really like double stacking the Cardinals, mostly because I don't like Jacoby Brissett in the battle royale style things where you have to have a quarterback who finished top 2 or 3. I love him. If you tell me to pick a guy to get 20 points, he's near the top of my list. But if you tell me to pick a guy who's going to get to 30 points, he's not very high on that list. He's probably near the bottom. Like, I think JJ McCarthy has a better chance to get 30 than Jacoby. So like he's a player who I had rated quite a bit higher on the cash game double up stuff. So what do we want to do here? I want to go to Jaden Higgins. I think we take Harvey here. Yeah, like, and I attack some of the high profile bust tier stuff. I kind of try to take some of those. That's right. Like, I'm not going to go overboard with JJ McCarthy, but I'm also going to limit myself on the amount of the 4 players that I do take. I'm not going to have 0, right, of that player, but let's build out. Let's just build out a big Bo Nix thing here. Bo Nix has thrown a touchdown pass to RJ Harvey a couple, like 2 of the last 3 weeks, I believe. Okay, just last week. But he had 71 yards the week before that. So, and this is a Chargers rest some of their guys, halftime kind of thing. The Broncos know they're going to get the bye, so they're not as worried about injuries. So, I mean, I do think it's then, like, Bo Nix is one of those players. Like, he has the 30-point ceiling, right? But his floor isn't as high. Jackson Dart is the exact same thing. He's got 1 point, 25, 23, right? So, like, those kind of plays, in my eyes, are better for this style contest, for sure, than a Jacoby Brissett. Because, as we looked at yesterday, he's not top 22 fantasy points in the last 5 weeks. And I think his highest for the year, he had 26 or 27 point game. And CJ Stroud falls into that same category, right? And the field size matters there, right? So, like, for the Wildcat specifically, I will have less Jacoby Brissett than the Engage 8. I think with the Engage 8, with it being a lot smaller field, or like the single entry stuff, I think Jacoby Brissett is a very fine pick in those. I'm just not in on it for the 30K, like the Battle Royale or the Wildcat. And the 12 meds are completely different because the projected points matter a lot more at quarterback. I do think you're less likely to hit the nuts, but yeah. So, looks like we're probably going to get this combination here. On my phone, I'm going to join another Wildcat, and I'm going to join in 10 seconds. Yeah, I haven't done a team like this at all, obviously, because I pulled up Chase Brown and then I took the faller there, and then I just team stacked a little bit. So we got Bo Nix, and then Bo Nix to RJ Harvey and Cortland Sutton. Then we got Chase Brown. We pulled Jaden Higgins way up the board, and then Trey McBride at tight end. Not a bad team. Other draft instantly filled. We are at the 106. We got Coolers at the 104. Good luck, Mr. Coolers. If you're listening, let me know how many drafts you're doing at a time right now. I know you usually try to do 3. Yeah, like, and whenever I'm doing these drafts, I am much more likely to take when I take Jefferson, take McCarthy than when I take to take Brissett. It's basically going to take me to have a double stack on the 30,000 entry things. Now I will do just Michael Wilson or like a Michael Wilson with a stack on the other side, like a double stack on the other side, and Stafford went, right? Like a Drake May at the 101. You've seen it here first, guys. Drake May 101. Maverick 11 has no fear. Shilly gets a Bijan at 103. Absolute gift. Maybe Coolers gets the 104 Bijan. There are a couple people out there putting Puka at the 101. He did not get it. I almost landed the Puka McBride yesterday. All of that happened, and I don't get any gifts. We're gonna take the Lamb again. We're gonna take a Jamar Chase, CD Lamb team here. I have way too much James. I'm at like 32% James Cook this week. And I am a little uncomfortable with it. I'm not going to lie. I am a little uncomfortable for sure. Like I think that it's one of those, if he plays all game, he's probably one of the best picks on the board. If he doesn't play all game, obviously it's one of the worst picks on the board. Like if you tell me there's no restrictions and we're doing the him versus the Jets with zero chance of him sitting, I don't have him above. I might have him above Jahmyr Gibbs, actually. Like I'm that high on his ability for this week against the Jets. I would be Bijan, Puka, and I would have James Cook above McBride. And I probably still put Gibbs next before Cook, but it would be very close for me. I mean, if Coolers isn't going to let Kyron pass him, maybe he does. He was talking about how he had too much yesterday, so he does. He lets him go. We're going to take Kyron. We're going to take Dak. If it comes back, we'll take the Tyrone Tracy. If it doesn't come back, we will take the Ash. No, we need the guys who I'm kind of high on right now. We'll take the Woody Marks. It could just be a Jonathan Taylor team too. I need a couple Taylor teams. And then the tight end here, like I said, I'm trying to target a little bit of Dalton Schultz. I might force him in. I'm gonna have a very hard time not taking Loveland if Loveland comes all the way back. Coolers goes ahead and pulls up his quarterback to this round. That's something that I've been doing a little bit, and as you see, he did what I did in the last one there a little bit. But he pulled 2 players up. Like that's one of his the second round is a bust teams, right? I do think if you do massive volume, you need some teams where you pull up a player from here to this side of the board, and then you pull somebody from the 5th round up, and then take your quarterback. That's a scroll to force yourself to have like not like a full scroll team, but like a lower owned squad here and there. I do think that it's important to have a couple of those in your portfolio. Like not making an absolute like this is something I have to do, but to have it there. But yeah, like Dalton Schultz, 2 of the last 3 weeks he had a touchdown, and Nico is out of this game. So, all right, so this is a team I love. We have Dak Prescott, Kyron Williams, Tyron Tracy, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, and Dalton Schultz. I've been light on Chase and Lamb, so getting them together actually feels pretty good. I have a cut like 1 or 2 of those teams, but no, I don't have very many of them. And then Coolers, Puka, Chase Brown, Jacoby, Stafford, Hendo, and Kelsey. Kelsey's a guy I'm taking in a low volume as well. I do need to start mixing in a little bit more Henderson. All right, Wildcat, we're joining in 10 seconds. It feels like you're getting... Yeah. Nobody's commented for a while. I thought maybe that was a new comment. I got all confused. And these do feel a lot faster in the morning. I mean, what we got going on here? Yeah, we're still about an hour away from close, so I do think that it's going to fill. We get the 102. We will go Bijan and then Puka. Wake up, sheeple. People are sleeping. Yeah. Everybody else is probably chasing as well. Over on Drafters, I looked at all of my lineups I'd done before last night's game, and I got 5 more teams with Kyron Williams because Kyron wasn't being drafted 100%. And I got basically 3 teams with last round Kyron Williams. So like that's something to go check on. Like I checked on that while I went and moved my Nico teams around. And I got like I basically have like 60% Kyron Williams over there right now. Yeah, it does feel bad, but it has been in top 10 lineups a lot this year. And like it depends on the week. Like this week, tight end is weaker the deeper you go, but the problem with tight end this year is Trey McBride. Like Trey McBride's floor is so high that your scroll tight end has to be able to score 18 points, right? Like if your scroll tight end, I did not do any goal line sense. If your scroll tight end can't get to 18 points, which is kind of what his average has been this year, like he's probably not worth taking. So like, although I don't hate the Dulcich as a play, it's a two-way bet because you're betting that number one, Trey McBride has a very rare down game, but you're also betting that when that happens, Dulcich also has a good game. Like the reason he's a first round pick is because he's worth that point. Like his floor is so high that it does make it worth it. So like I have a like I would like to scroll at tight end a lot more, but like weeks like this, it honestly feels like there's only like 8 tight ends to draft, in my opinion. And maybe that's wrong, but that is where I'm at. We're going to do a very, very rare 3 wide receiver. I think this is only the second 3 wide receiver build I've done all week. I don't do a lot of them. I have said that I want to force myself into a couple more. We definitely want Stafford on this team. And the reason I like Dalton Schultz so much this week is because he's a guy who can get up there in points. And you don't necessarily need to beat McBride. Like if McBride has 22 points and Dalton Schultz has 20 points, you just need your first round pick to outscore their last round pick by more than 2 points, right? Williams and Dart in the first in your draft. Very like Caleb Williams has had some good games in the cold. I do really like him this week. I think he's being I was surprised he's being drafted that little. I'm pretty sure there's a guy like I've been seeing a guy take Williams in the first or second round a little bit. So it doesn't surprise me. They do have a lot to play for this week, and Detroit's offense or defense is not very good. I'm going to avoid Colson Loveland probably the rest of the morning. Like I said, I have a lot, and I don't need as much as I have. We're going to wait on running back because there's a lot of them I don't mind here. Dude took Caleb Williams 101 in a 3-man super deep. It could absolutely be a Jaden Blue week, and I hope to God it is not. All right, do I want Kyle Pitts? I'm going to go ahead and take the Hunter Henry. Henry is one of those tight ends that we know. Like Henry, Juwan, and Loveland are all tight ends we have seen this year more than once hit the McBride mark. As I call it. I'm calling it the McBride mark. Britton Strange has been close. Dalton Schultz has hit it a couple times. Chig has been close a couple times. But, like, if you look at all these tight ends, like Michael Mayer makes sense because he's not really had a lot of picks or things. I think down to, and Ferguson has as well. So, like, down to Ferguson, I think it's arguable. Ferg, since the offense is fully going and both people have been healthy, he's not really had the bigger games. And by the way, on my phone, I am currently joining another Wildcat and 10. The reason I shouldn't have went Henry because I was thinking about going Travion, but this is an excuse to go with Ashton Genty. I do need to take a team with a Tank Bigsby, but it's absolutely not going to be a solo Tank Bigsby team. Like, I do need to take a share of Bigsby on a very commonly owned team. We got 2 more to start on the other one. So the team here, Matt Stafford, Puka, with the bring back of Michael Wilson, George Pickens, Hunter Henry, and one of these two. I'm looking at my exposures right now on another screen. Yeah, I definitely need to stop taking James Cook. That's what I'm learning right now. I need to stop taking James Cook. Let me look. Yeah, I got 31% James Cook, 27% Loveland, 22% JMO, 22%. Yeah, so I'm down to 18.5% Bijan. So that's right. The problem is that my Gibbs is way down. Yeah, my Gibbs is 9.3%. But as you guys have seen, every time I stream, I end up drafting near the back. But last night I was only drafting up top. So, well, we got the 101 in our other lobby, and we will absolutely take more Bijan Robinson. On the bright side, a lot of my Bijan teams are I got 2 shares of him in the fullback dive of my 3 teams, I believe, and I know my victory formation had him. My victory formation also had Nico, though. So I'm hoping to be able to swap him into Cortland Sutton at least. Yeah, we're going to do that, and then we're going to take Jaden Higgins and move him up ahead of... Yeah, we're going to do that. And then if we swap into some Jaden Higgins, that's fine. But we moved Cortland Sutton, Jefferson, and then Higgins. So, and then Diggs. And we moved Jacoby Myers down the board. I don't know. I'm having a hard time picking any of the... I have a little bit... I haven't taken Parker Washington yet. I haven't taken BTJ yet. Tennessee, which is probably wrong. Tennessee's run defense has been very good over the last few weeks. I just kind of feel like that game's going to be an ETN show. What's our goal here? I think our goal here is definitely want the Amon. We're going to go Amon and Juwan Johnson. A start I've done a couple times. This might be our Tank Bigsby team. This might be our JCM team. We will... This one is going to be a one of owned guy for me. We have a start that I've done a couple times. I've pulled Juwan up over here to pair with Bijan a few times. So in the last round, we're going to take a scroll running back. Next round, we'll probably go into take Loveland. If Loveland comes back, we will take Loveland. If Loveland, after I just said we don't need to do that, it could be, instead of that, actually, we're going to scroll for a Tyler Shuck. I have a couple shares of him. He's not got there yet. But he's putting up, Shuck is putting up exactly what Jacoby Brissett's putting up, and he's way less owned. So I kind of like him more than I just like him more. And Jared Goff, I am a little worried about that because it is outdoors and it is Jared Goff, which, we could. Oh, yeah, absolutely. What am I thinking? I have Juwan Johnson. We're going to take Tyler Show here. And then we're going to take a wide receiver. I don't know which one of these I want. It could be... we're going to take JMO. We're actually not going to do that. We're going to take JMO. We're going to take Goff. We're going to do the double stack. And then we're going to, like I said, if we're going to scroll for running back, we're going to take something I like. I'm a little worried about Jared Goff in the cold weather, but Chicago's defense is really bad. So this will get us to some sort of a scroll, like a JCM or a Tank Bigsby. I've taken, like, I don't like the Jalen Wright pick, but I don't hate it either. And then Genty would be low owned for me. I'm taking very little Jaden Blue. I think it's a fine pick. I'm just having a hard time getting there, like a really, really hard time getting to it. We haven't seen official word on Saquon, right? Nothing yet. We should have the actives, inactives right now. Yeah, we will look at that page here in just a second. Make sure we got all of this. And Dylan Sampson's somebody I've taken once or twice as well. All right, so I'm trying to talk myself into still taking JCM. I don't love it. I really don't love it. I definitely not going to take him. Actually, we'll just bite that bullet. Tank, maybe. Yeah, we'll do Tank. This will be the Tank Bigsby team. So we got Jared Goff, double stack, Amon-Ra, and JMO. Bijan with the Juwan Johnson ring back, and then Tank Bigsby, garbage time hero. Congratulations. I just won $0. All right. Another Wildcat. We're joining in 10 seconds. While that's filling, we will look at this. This is the inactives as they stand now. So Falcons, nothing. Panthers already played. Bengals. Yeah, I maybe could have been cash with JCM. Maybe. Like, maybe. All right, so we got the 106 in this lobby. So we have time to look over this. Browns, Harold Fannon's out, and Njoku's out. We already knew that. Jacksonville, no surprise. Indy, Sauce is out. I will start taking more Jaden Higgins. I honestly might just move Jaden Higgins all the way to the top of my swaps. I know it's very risky, but I don't think that the Colts are going to be able to get pressure on him. Nico, surprise inactive. Packers, Josh Jacobs is inactive. I hadn't seen that yet. Olave inactive, Spencer Rattler inactive. We knew those. Wan'Dale Robinson is not listed. Yeah, you were talking about Jalen Noel. I'm more in on the Jaden Higgins side of it, but on drafters, I think Noel is a very fine pick for sure. Okay, he was IR. Got it. I knew he wasn't playing. And then Titans, Gunnar Helm is out, which is actually a reasonable. I think we kind of knew that, but I think Chig is a very interesting scroll. So there was nothing on the Bills, right? They play in the late slate. Let's do. We're gonna do Lamb and Chase Brown. We're gonna do the pull them up the board kind of thing here. Get a slightly unique pairing kind of thing going. Like I said, the James Cook stuff does scare me. I love the play if he I'm very, very high on him if he plays the whole game. But and I already have 30% of my portfolio on him. Well, I know, my answer on Royals is never. I didn't like him as a prospect. And then he went to a team that has never, I viewed, people say that he reminds them of Rashid Rice. In my eyes, Royals was always more of an after the catch monster, like Kadarius Toney and Hardman and these other players that Kansas City keeps trying to get, that they fail over and over and over with. And I was completely out from day one because that's how I profiled him. And I don't think Andy Reid in year one will ever be able to get that player to work in Kansas City, especially with Matt Nagy at OC. But for Rashard Smith, I looked earlier today. I couldn't find it. I'm not in on him, but I do think that they try to do something with him. I was wanting to bet his anytime touchdown, but they didn't have it listed. Like if it's like plus 350, 400-ish, I'm gonna make a reasonable, not like a big bet. But I'll look it up again, see if he's there. But whenever I looked earlier today, he was not on the list for that. Which was interesting. Yeah, he's still not. They still only have like 9 players from that game listed for anytime touchdown. That's how I want to attack that, is that way. Yeah, I've not seen any props for him, and he's a player I kind of like for a scale up kind of situation for the week. All right, so we're going to take Dak here. We're going to go ahead and just pull up Tyrone Tracy. This is going to be a get unique team. We're going to take Jaden Higgins if we're allowed to. And tight end will just be whatever's left, basically. I wouldn't mind Strange. I don't want Schultz in this situation. But I think this is what I'm rooting for. Honestly, Kyle Pitts, I don't have like any Kyle Pitts. I probably need more than I have. I just think that Bijan absolutely runs. I'm kind of out on the passing game for Atlanta this week, and it's not a super comfortable spot to be. I do think that if the passing game gets there, I seen Higgins go, and I'm like, what? I put the wrong Higgins in the queue. The real Higgins, right here, Jaden Higgins, the absolute man, the real Higgins. We're gonna join another Wildcat on our phone. Like I said, I'm gonna do these up until it's time. Yeah, they may do some kind of shenanigans, for sure. We're joining another Wildcat, and we're going to join it in 10 seconds. Looks like we're going to get what we want here. I mean, Juwan's available? I'm not taking Juwan Johnson there. He's their number one receiver right now. Yeah. And we already have the scroll in Jaden Higgins. And it kind of defeats the purpose of taking Tracy up that high. But we pulled Chase Brown up to this side of the board. So the team here, Dak Prescott. Oh, Cousins flu game. But Dak to CD, Tyron Tracy bring back Chase Brown, Jaden Higgins, and Juwan Johnson. Starts in a few. We got the 102. We got I might do some onside kicks next. I'm keeping an eye on the fullback dive. If it looks like it's not going to fill near the end of the near the end here, I'm definitely going to fire off my last two. And I don't have any pick'ems that I love right now either. One of the three that we did last night is still alive. It's the one that the chat done. The Shaheed thing backfired. But because the Shaheed thing backfired, we're going to run back the rest of that. And we're going to do the massive scale up on Jameson Williams on his receiving yards all the way to 99 with the Trey McBride touchdown that we liked yesterday. It's actually went up to 1.23. It was 1.21 yesterday. That's interesting. Where is Jaden Higgins? 48 receiving yards for Jaden Higgins, 3.5 receptions. Longest at 19.5. We're going to scale that up as well. 2 errors, huh? We'll look at that here in a second. All right, so I was playing with that in the other screen, so sorry about that. So Puka. I feel very confident about Amon-Ra this week. Like very, very confident. So we're going to do that. This is probably going to be another... it's either a Woody Marks or a Dalton Schultz team. Not sure right now. I'm thinking I may make it a Woody Marks team. We're going to go ahead and take Chase Brown here. The Woody Marks attachment to this will make it a little unique. And then I think I'm going to go a little deeper at tight end as well. So Let's see if I can figure out why that wasn't working. But the Jameson Williams receiving yards. Okay. It's working at the moment. Do we like Jaden Higgins over 19.5 longest reception? Tank Bigsby rushing touchdown prop is 1.07. That should speak a little bit to what they're doing. I might look at Dalton Schultz receptions. We're going to go ahead and just pull up Woody here. We're going to make sure to get him. I want to make sure to get him on this team. And then we'll do a Matt Stafford as well. And then at tight end, we're probably going to go with like a Kelsey or something. It could be a Michael Mayer. I don't know. I haven't seen why Nico is sitting. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and ship this this pick'em. I think. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'll put it in the chat. This is what it is. If you guys want, you can follow. If not, it's basically the one we did yesterday, except Jaden Higgins' longest reception being replaced by the like the Shaheed one being replaced by that. Well, I was talking earlier how I don't have very much. How I don't have very much Kyle Pitts, so this would actually be a really good spot to do that. I have we're gonna do another. We're gonna look at the onside kick. I'm gonna join the onside kick. I believe I've got all of my Wildcats that I need. I've got to, yeah, I've done enough. We're joining the onside kick right now. I haven't even looked at this lobby yet. It starts shortly. You got Dez in here. It's a much different slate. Why wasn't Dallas's information? Okay. So back to this. Dallas has everybody playing. The Giants, Theo is out. Like all stuff we knew. The Titans, Bucks. Who else was added? The Vikings. Aaron Jones and Hawkinson we knew. All right. So no real extra news there. We're probably gonna do a few more of these and then log off. I'll probably log off 11:20ish or about 15-20 minutes. Actually, no, I'll be live. I gotta reply to this. Trevor Lawrence up that high, huh? My dad was calling to invite me to go out to eat. He knows the answer is no on an NFL day. Gotta have priorities. Um, absolutely priorities. All right, we got and he's like not even going close. He's going out of town. Like absolutely not. I'm not gonna miss the entire first set of games. Like basically absolutely not is the answer. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If it was like a local restaurant, like the one down the street from me, I might miss like the first quarter. I'm not gonna miss. I'm personally not gonna miss the entire like all of the games. This is an ugly, 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 ugly group of running backs. Man. This is very ugly. What are the tight ends like? So I think I know what I want to do here. I kind of... Yeah, we're going to take Juwan. Maybe we double stack Houston here. I don't know. This is ugly. Yeah. All right, so like I do like he at least doesn't like he doesn't call whenever my normal stream times are. So that's positive. That's a step in the right direction. But this is kind of an impromptu thing. It's the last week we get to do this, right? The very last week. We are absolutely going to take advantage of it. Yeah, these wide receivers. This is an ugly group. Yiggity yo! What's up, Aaron Sandy? I don't know if you done any or not, but if you did, good luck as well. We'll take we're gonna take Jackson Dart here. We're gonna probably take Higgins on the way back around. And we might just wait on him. We might take I don't know. Maybe we take Dylan Sampson. Like the ugly RB scrolls are pretty bad. Bijan Tracy Burrow over here. Like, that feels fine. We're gonna not do any more of those. We're gonna go back to the Wildcat. We're gonna join another Wildcat whenever we get to the 5th round. As soon as I make my pick in the 5th round, I'm gonna click enter on another Wildcat. Yeah, this is truly Degen stuff right here. We're definitely going to take Mason there. I wouldn't mind those being my 2 wide receivers. I think that he's clickable. Kevin Austin, huh? I won't be able to get there. DK, I could see myself taking. Ryan Flournoy, maybe. These are some ugly. Like, this is a slate where I think Jalen Noel could make some sense. Or Alec Iomanor. Like, these are my scroll. If I don't get Higgins, we will take Noel. And I do think that Jerry Jeudy is probably clickable in this contest as well. All right, so we're entering the Wildcat right now. One more to start. We got I'm like mad at myself. Like, I didn't look at this slate. This is ugly. Like, really ugly. But you know what? Draft 1, ship 1. That's what we're doing here. We only need 1 bullet. That's how this works. Only need the 1 bullet. We'll see if they end up taking Brian Thomas or not. So we got the 101 in the Wildcat. And we are obviously taking Bijan on that one. And then this team finished out Naked Dart, running back, brought to you by Lutz, Jackson Dart, running backs, Travis Etienne, Jordan Mason, Higgins, Iomanor, and Juwan Johnson. But yeah, I think after this one, I'm gonna look and see where the fullback dive is. I might end up just maxing the fullback dive this week. I don't know. The quarterback sneak is, yeah, it looks like it's gonna possibly get there, maybe. But there's 30 minutes left, and we still need like 500 entrants in the $25 contest. And it looks like the Wildcat's definitely going to overlay as well. We're doing this. We're going to do two Wildcats at a time right now. This is the last week for this, so like for the regular season stuff. So we're gonna degen out a little more. And I'm probably definitely going to do the last 2 fullback dives as well. And I will be taking Jaden Higgins in one of them, I think. All right, so Trevor Lawrence has been moving up the boards, which is interesting. Dez must be auto-drafting everything. And he's had Chase Brown. Like, I've seen a lot of his drafts. I don't know if he's auto-drafting this, but I think he was auto-drafting the onside kick. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's just an animal and he's got like 9 draft screens up. That also sounds feasible. Jacoby Brissett in round 2. Not the move I would be making. We will take the fallers here. We'll take ETN and Pickens. And then move over to the other draft. We got the 105 in this one. We'll take James Cook. We haven't done much James Cook today. We'll go ahead and take the play I do believe is the best play there. But yeah, after these two, I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to take the headset off. I'm going to relax a little bit more while I do this. And I'm going to try to focus in and do more. Like, I don't like to do multiple while I'm streaming. So we're going to go ahead and try and get it a little bit more in. But yeah, like, it's definitely scary to have volume in on this week for sure. I don't know how I feel about it overall. Guess we'll know in a few hours. I'm either going to feel great or horrible about my decisions. I basically put like, my account balance is basically where I want it to be starting next year's Bestball season. So without winning any of this money back. So I'm still like $80 ahead of it. So I'll probably gamble, like, after the fullback dives, I'll be closer to where I wanted to be. All right, so this other draft, we might get Dak all the way back. If we don't, we're going to take Dart and Slayton. And on this draft, I think I want... Yeah, we're going to... So of course, you know, if you draft more than one at a time, it never fails that you draft at the same time on both of them. So we're going to take Dak to pair with Pickens, and then we're going to take Jefferson on this one. And on this other one, we're going to take... We're going to go ahead and, like I've said I needed to do, we're going to take Michael Wilson here because he's a faller. And then we're probably going to make this one of my few... Did Genty go? Genty did go. Yeah, absolutely. Like, literally. And you can intentionally time out on one, and then other people know that you're doing that in the other ones, and they time out. And then whenever you flip it, because the one did it the one time, and they synced up again, like, it happens again. I haven't taken a Drake May team yet on stream today. Yeah, the fullback dive being that low is very interesting. Even if the fullback dive only gets to 95%, that's a lot. That's good in my eyes. There are definitely people out here autoing as well. Which, as long as that means if a scroll is what you need, you have a slight advantage, and that's one reason I want to jump on, or I want to log off and kind of focus in a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna take Chig here. We're gonna do the Chig click on that team, and on this other team, like, that'll be the last one. We'll just let it time out. I'll hit autopilot on it, and then I'm on the clock over here. Hunter Henry does come back. That's the pick I want. I mean, if Kyron is available, like, you are allowed to take Kyron here. I probably should have taken Kyron, but I want that stack, and I don't. Okay. All right. We will take more Kyron. Drake May. Yeah, Chig. I have 3 shares of Chig, I think, in my 103 drafts or something. I think that like I don't want to be majorly overweight, but I like him a bit this week. That's one of those spots you can actually beat Jacksonville as well. All right, so yeah, we got Chig on the other one. The last 2 for the stream are we got Drake May, James Cook, Kyron Williams, CD, Michael Wilson, and Hunter Henry. That's just an ADP value team. And on the other team, we have Prescott, Bijan, ETN, Pickens, scroll like a little bit of a scroll on JJ, and then Chig. Also agree on fullback dive. 10% equals 100%. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's. I'm gonna hop off the stream. I'm probably gonna do my last couple fullback dives. I've done 3 of them. Sadly, one of them had Nico. But anyway, good luck everybody today. I will chat with a bunch of you in the Discord for the rest of the day. Have a good day. Peace.